Hello and welcome everyone to Wednesday's strategic planning events. We are just getting started. I'll wait another minute to let those of you who are just getting logged on get settled in. Grab your lunch, a drink, whatever you need. We'll get started here in another minute or so. All righty. Well, welcome again to SCC Strategic Planning Week celebration. It has been such a fun week so far. We have had hundreds of employees attending the webinars, participating in the daily challenges, and just has been a wonderful opportunity for people to ask questions and to share some of the really exciting things happening across the college. It's kind of a dual celebrating recent progress and also looking ahead to the future. As you know, there's been daily communication, different activities for the college community to be able to participate in, and then we've had presentations each day highlighting transformational initiatives, and then of course celebrating outstanding planning and through our mission action planning process, doing some fast goal awards on yesterday, today, and tomorrow. So today, the activity was learning more about cybersecurity at SCC. Let's give Alexander Taylor a big shout out for putting together a module and exercises for us to learn more about something that is super important to our daily operations, even though it feels relatively behind the scenes, but important to all of us. Today, we have a fantastic presentation and topic ahead by SCC's Office of Marketing Communications. They are going to tell us all about Goal 3, which was one of the key new strategic goals that was part of the 2020-2024 plan. And then we'll close today's presentation with recognition of a department for outstanding planning. With that, I want to welcome you all. Thank you for being here, for spending part of your day celebrating SCC. And I want to welcome and thank Stu Ostertune and Crystal Holman for preparing a presentation today and some exciting updates that impact each of one of us in various ways. So with that, I will stop sharing my screen and turn things over to Stu and Crystal.
Thank you very much, Shauna. I really appreciate it. And thank you all for joining today. As Shauna mentioned, we're going to talk about Goal 3 and some of the functions of the Marketing and Communications Office and how they relate to Goal 3 and how we're attempting to engage the rest of the college into Goal 3. Excuse me. So I want you to think back to the 2015-2019 strategic plan. I'm sure everybody has that a vivid memory, but if you remember, Goal 1 of that plan was enrollment and growth. And we took the and out for this current year. This current strategic plan of Goal 1, and it's just enrollment growth. But if you look at that 2015-19 Goal 1, that was kind of the impetus of pulling out one of the objectives and then creating a separate Goal 3 here in the 2020-2024 strategic plan. And so it's it makes perfect sense. It's perfect timing as the college continues to transform its, products and services, and certainly our facilities. So what I'd like to do is maybe kind of go through each of the objectives before you that make up Goal 3. And I know that you've all read this, and but I just kind of want to give you an insight as to what the Marketing and Communications Office is kind of doing in relation to each objective. And before I start that, I would say that while this particular goal certainly speaks directly to the marketing and communications office. You know, it's what we're about. It's also it also involves every one of us at the college. Every one of us is involved in creating a positive image, creating additional awareness, and so on. And so my office, Office of Marketing and Communications, is really kind of the guide or driver, I guess, if you will, for this goal. And I want to share with you some of the things that we've been doing. So Objective 3.1, enhance image and awareness of the college's programs and services. And, you know, this is, I mean, they're all vitally important, but as we all know, prospects will matriculate to a college, first and foremost, I think, if you have their program that they're interested in. So I want to tell you that we're taking a more strategic approach to marketing and advertising our programs and services. And one way is Crystal, with the help of some of the rest of us on the team, and certainly some other folks at the college, has been working hard on a digital marketing campaign that is very, very comprehensive, and it's going to be an exciting rollout, and one that I think will have really, really positive results. Another way that we're being strategic, and this really has kind of just gotten started as we've nominated several people, including Dr. Illich, for regional and national awards, is that we realize that the college is such a complex organization that we have faculty, staff, even board members who are up for, or could be up for, certain awards. And what better way to, you know, that fits right in with, you know, 3.1, enhancing the image and awareness of the college. And so we're going to make a concerted effort at a more formalized approach to nominating folks for awards. I'm sure every one of our programs of study has you know, an award that they could be nominating their folks for, but we want to make it a more formal process. 3.2, improve communication to maximize engagement among constituencies. Certainly important. You know, we have more than 50,000 alumni that we know where they are. We have accurate physical addresses for those alums. And so we publish an alumni news 3 times annually. We've worked hard through the years to really improve and make it a more robust publication to keep that audience informed. We're working hard to be more engaged with local entities, whether that be you know, economic development organizations or whatnot. And certainly every session of the state legislature, we're very involved in engaging with state senators at that body. 3.3, improve communication to maximize engagement among economic development entities. I already kind of spoke a little bit about that. We're involved in a number of chambers of commerce within our 15 county service area. And anytime that those chambers have you know, certain events throughout the year, and many of them are extremely active, we want to take a look at those opportunities and take advantage of being involved and sponsoring certain things related to the chamber. And then certainly the same goes for employers who hire our graduates. We, you know, obviously Career Services is very involved in relationship building with our employers. 3.4, improve communication across departments, divisions, and campuses. Our office has worked and will continue to work with all areas of the college to improve and enhance communication. Again, we're a very complex organization. Sometimes I always say it would be really easy. It'd be easier if we were all in one location in terms of sometimes communicating and whatnot, but we're not, and we never will be. And so we need to work really hard at making sure that all of our locations and all of our employees at those locations are informed and communicated with. One example, of course, was the COVID communication that came out of my office. I'm sure you were all just waiting anxiously to receive that communication each Monday. Can you believe that that just ended in March? After 2 full years of communication, it was just March of 22 that we ended that communication. And then lastly, streamlined communication with prospective and current students. Hugely important. You know, Crystal has worked really closely with student affairs, admissions and whatnot to make sure that all of our communication that is communicated to prospects through our customer relationship management tool, Recruit, is consistent, and you know, the message and branding is consistent. And that's just one example of as is our website, and I'll talk about the website here in a little bit. But right now I want to turn it over to Crystal, who is going to talk to you about how our office engages with audience types and media outlets.
All right, thank you, Stu. And thank you to everybody who's joining today. Like Stu said, with Goal 3, there are a lot of things that this team, we're really evolving and really evaluating to try to ensure that we're enhancing, improving, and streamlining. One of those is identifying different audience types, whether that's high school, parent, family, counselor, GED, ELL learners, or English language learners, traditional, non-traditional, and workforce. When we say audience types, within each one of those audience focuses, we know that we're going to have different strategies and tactics of different audiences that we need to focus on within each one of them. But by identifying those audience types, we're able to build out better campaigns and strategies to ensure that we're reaching the right audience and effectively spending our marketing dollars to reach those prospective audiences and have a good return on investment. We've also evaluated our media outlets, and like Stu mentioned, we have completely revamped and will be implementing. We actually implemented it yesterday. Our initial new digital campaign that will include many facets, from AdWords, our program targeting, cluster program targeting, registration. It involves our prospective students, our prospects and inquiries, our current students, not only traditional students, but also our non-traditional students, our workforce needs, also including email streamlining. An example with that is working diligently with Kat and the admissions team on creating a more robust and more impactful and communication plan for our admissions, all the way from those prospects, inquiries, applicants, and ensuring that we're onboarding them and having a positive student experience as we transition them even to a current student. We also do newsprint, radio, whether that's traditional or streaming through Pandora or iHeart, direct mail and handouts, our outdoor media, television, which includes traditional cable television and the streaming like Hulu and Apple Television, as well as our social media. Not all of this can be evolved and changed overnight, so we are continuing to work on this as a team to identify where we have gaps, but also as we're working with the rest of the college to develop those communication plans so that we are enhancing, improving, and streamlining those communications to meet Goal 3. When we are looking at this, I want the majority of you to think about when you're planning an event or you're doing something that you're the pebble that is being dropped into water. And what you're doing is you're dropping that pebble of having an event or having something, and there's a ripple effect throughout the entire institution. Whether that's setting up a room, getting communications out for media, getting something on the website, there is a ripple effect, from putting out a digital campaign. How does that impact admissions, registration, our financial aid, our programming, all of that? There's a ripple effect in everything that we're doing. So kind of changing that narrative of focusing just on one area and how does that have an impact with the rest of the college to really develop better communication plans. We've also evaluated what our call to actions are. We call them CTAs. We're going to elevate that with having a visit, apply, register, and learn more. We're also going to be looking at working with many areas of the institution to implement a current student registration campaign that's going to be more to come, but it will be pretty excited to ensure that we're doing very intentional communications to our current students to make sure that they know when scholarships are open, when they need to register, and make sure that we have that retention to the institution. So I'm going to turn it over to Stu to talk about some exciting news about our website and content management.
Thank you, Crystal. Some of you were involved in early focus groups as we embarked on a journey of developing a new website and content management system. And we started in May of this year. And despite giving Sean a heart attack and saying, I think we want to go live around April 23rd of 2023, I've decided to put that off until probably toward the end of the semester, the spring semester. So I've tried to guarantee her that all the links will still be working when the HLC site visit team is on site. So anyway, no worries. But this has been a wonderful experience. And I guess the main point that I want to make here is, we all want to be on the homepage. We all want a button to us and to what we do. And that you realize that that's just not possible. And so through the focus groups, through our meetings, through really and truly best practices of colleges and university and their websites, we came to the conclusion that we need to design the site for prospective students. So when you come to us with a request about, hey, could I add a link here? Could I add a link there? I want you to first and foremost ask yourself, is this for prospective students? Because we want to drive enrollment, through the website with the proper links and information. And so, as Crystal alluded to, our primary calls to action there have changed just slightly, but we're going to give our programs of study, I guess, more love, if you will. I like to use that phrase. We're going to put a greater emphasis on our locations. And we're going to use more and more video because we obviously haven't used a whole ton to this point. Testimonials. One of the biggest things that excites me is we're going to finally have an event calendar that I think makes sense and is more informative than what we've been using, which is the Google Calendar. So you can see the different the different features that we've highlighted here. Personalization kind of gets back to behavioral targeting a little bit, and because we're going to be in transition from the hub, which is, of course, is our internal portal that has had its challenges, we created a site for current students. And what it is, it's going to be just a bunch of links. And we've put an exhaustive list on that page for current students. And we also will have a more robust employee directory as well. MRW is the design firm that we selected after an RFP, and Modern Campus is the CMS provider. Right now, they are migrating or working on code for the pages that MRW has designed for us. And so the process continues. And you see the timeline there on the left. So next, I want to talk about the Print Shop Copy Center.
Real quick, Stu, could I?
Oh, sorry.
Pause real quick and ask a question about, so will SCC be managing the website post May 23, or will these partners that you're talking about, is that partnership longer term?
So we will be managing it. Yes, we will take it over. It'll be a similar situation. Well, it's not similar, but MRW and Modern Campus will be available for tech support.
Okay.
I doubt that we'll need MRW for a whole lot, but we might need Modern Campus from a CMS standpoint. But yeah, Dave Hollowell, our webmaster, he will be the lead on this on the project once they turn the keys over to us.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yep.
And then another question came in about, you mentioned that there will be, in response to the hub being sunsetted, that there will be an exhaustive list of links for students. Will there be a similar page or something available for faculty and staff?
There will be there. I apologize.
Yep.
Yes, there will be. And once we get a replacement for the hub, I think I've heard Ellucian Experience, but I'm not positive on that. We'll just have to see how robust that intranet is, and then maybe it's possible we can move some of that information off of the public site onto the new hub, if you will.
Yeah, makes sense. Thanks, Stu.
You bet. So I want to tell you, I don't know if she's on today's call or not, but I want to give a shout out to Lisa Vosta. So I'm finishing my 15th year at the college, and I've worked with Lisa the entire time. Lisa is the print shop supervisor at the Lincoln campus, and Friday is her last day. She is retiring. She had told me a year or so ago that she was thinking about it, and she has made that decision. So Lisa, thank you for your service. Thank you for all that you've done for the college throughout your 30 plus years at SCC. Having said that, Lisa was a huge proponent of this new piece of equipment that is now in the print shop. She had told me for years, we really need a large format printer because we would be able to create posters, banners, all kinds of things. And so we did. We put in an expanded capital equipment request a couple of years ago, and you can see a picture of what we have. It's a Canon, and the media is, I think, 44 inches wide. And then, of course, it's a roll of paper or a roll of media, and you can make it as long as you want. All kinds of colors of ink come with it, and it really we started using it a few months ago, and it really does tie back to Goal 3 in that it has already made a difference in the image and awareness on campus. We've got some programs of study who have used the piece of equipment for banners. If you're on the Lincoln campus and you enter where the TCA doors are, you'll see a banner there that was produced by the print shop and large format printer. So this is an exciting new acquisition, and it really didn't break the bank. we're just really excited about the possibilities that that lie ahead. So Lisa, it was your idea, so thank you so much. I'll turn it over to Crystal to talk about news and social media.
All right. Well, Andrea and Jennifer in our department really, they spearhead our news stories and our social media. One of, going back to our goal 3 of to enhance, improve, and streamline is ensuring that if you have an event, if there's awards that have been received, if we need to give out recognition to somebody, classroom projects, lab projects, or testimonial opportunities, let us know. We will try to catch this as much as possible as we are having projects come into the office, but to really ensure that we are able to help achieve goal 3, create that awareness, we need to know what's going on. And we want to create that awareness. So let us know. Can't guarantee that absolutely everything's going to be a news story or put out on social media, but that doesn't mean that we don't want to know, and we can find ways to incorporate that in some other way. Like Stu had mentioned earlier, Andrea and the team does a great job with our alumni news. We are constantly looking for stories. So if you have an alumni feature story or information that you would like to have featured, please reach out to Andrea. We publish those in January, May, and September. And there is a URL that is able to be accessed, the news-media-relations. Otherwise, I'm sure you can reach out to either Andrea or Jennifer to submit that information, or at least just give them a heads up that something's going on. With coming on to the team in April, one of the things that we sat down as a team to focus on is how do we ensure that we're achieving goal 3 as a team, but creating that awareness internally to all of you that when you are having an event or you're having something, you need a poster or you need something printed, to look at it holistically from a communication aspect or approach, and have a plan. What is the objective of the piece? Why do you need that? Who are you communicating to? Before we kind of had our design piece that you could request your information. So we have evolved that form to create more of a marketing form so that we can look at projects from a holistic approach as those come into the office and ask those questions. So from our side, we can give better customer service to all of you by asking some of the questions of, hey, you're having an event. I know that you requested a poster, but do we need to have a landing page? Do we need to have information on the homepage later? The TV monitors, do individuals need to register? Do you need a form? Do you need to send out a postcard, an email? There's so many facets to what our team does, so that as we start having, instead of having people have to ask, Dave to do a web update and Laura to do a poster and Aaron to do a TV slide, everything can be consolidated into one request so that you don't have to reach out to multiple individuals. It's coming in to our marketing email, and we're able to review that and either, say we'll get that back, get that into our queue to work on, or if we have questions, we can ask you so that we're providing you support so that all of the different things that we have available here to support you. Based on timelines, sometimes we aren't going to be able to do all the aspects of it. So the sooner that you reach out with your content, with your information, the sooner that we can have that conversation and identify some of the additional projects that we could do to really start reaching out to those target audiences and to elevate that awareness, which reflects back to why we have goal 3.
So here's the team to kind of wrap things up here. You'll see the names and titles and contact information. You've kind of been introduced to myself and Crystal, Andrea Gallagher, communications specialist, Nathan Comstock, Aaron Kilman, and Laura Thompson as the graphic designers. Jennifer Snyder is our social media marketing specialist. Dave Hollowell is our webmaster. and Brian Piontek. So those first 8 are at the Jack J. Huck Continuing Education Center, 5th floor area office. And then Brian Piontek, press operator, and Tracy Dahlstrom, copy operator. And for another 2.5 days, Lisa Vosta, production supervisor, they are at the Lincoln campus print shop copy center. So you can also find us on the public website. We do have a page there. If you go in our current site, if you go down to the footer and click on news, and you'll see a link to a marketing and communications office. So thank you very much. And just to wrap up, there is goal 3 again. Thank you.
Expanding awareness of the college's programs and services through responsive and transparent communication. Thank you, Stu and Crystal. So there's been some questions. Crystal, if you can keep that PowerPoint, the slides up real quick. Is the marketing request form effective right now or in the future?
Yes, the marketing request form has been in use for the last couple months. Stu had sent out a communication, which I know we all get a lot of emails. So you can find that at the southeast.edu/marketing form. And yeah.
All right. And there was another question that came in related to the marketing form and the contacts that you have on the next page. Is it helpful for people to reach out individually to the team, to the individual team members, or should people start with that form if they need services? What do you recommend?
Oh, that's a great question. The form is pretty lengthy. There's a lot of different sections. We tried to make it as comprehensive as possible because obviously marketing and communications entails a lot of different projects and whatnot. There are times when people have reached out to me individually, either pick up the phone or by email. Sometimes I'll tell them, depending on the complexity of the project, I'll tell them, I'd really like you to fill out the marketing request form. One of the reasons for the marketing request form not only is to, bottom line, it's project management. It's project management. It kind of tells us what is in the queue. It's a good document of we can document the projects that we have, and that way there's not a lot of one-offs and that may not get written down somewhere. But I guess when in doubt, please use the marketing request form.
I would agree with that, as well as when we have individuals that might be on vacation or out of the office. This marketing request form allows us to ensure that we have multiple individuals seeing what's coming in. And as a team, we can identify if there's some gaps, if there's some things that we need to follow up on. A lot of the team has been around a lot longer than myself and will have a lot of feedback and information about projects. So this allows us to have that conversation as a team.
Yeah, great. Thanks. Thank you for that. So you started another question. You started the presentation with the strong focus on what we're doing for prospective students and really rethinking how we're communicate the strategies, the audiences, our website design. What about, are there any efforts or are there future plans to think about communication to current or retaining current students?
Stu, I'm more than happy to start with this one.
Sure, go ahead.
So when we initially I discussed that we kicked off our digital campaign, our current students are being targeted within that with the messaging to make sure that they are within those campaigns of registering for our classes. So we are targeting those. We also will be having that current students page on the new website that allows them to have a one-stop location for all of the information. Also having conversations, a lot of communication planning and conversations over the last 7 months with many areas personally throughout the college from our student affairs team to how do we ensure like our communications for financial aid, for our registration, just to get students to stay with us, to know what opportunity, like support that's out there. A lot of those conversations have been had. There's a gap in how do we communicate to the students? Is that through email? Is it through postcards? Is it through posters? We're still trying to identify some of those because not one thing works for all areas. So as we're having these communication conversations with many areas of the college, we're identifying where some of those gaps are currently with our current students, and how do we ensure that we're getting that information out to them? Is it their SCC email or is it their personal email? So there's a lot of things that we need to take into account to ensure that we're doing the best that we can to get that, not just putting up a TV monitor slide, because not everybody is engaged with that the whole time that the slides are going. So yes, having a lot of conversations throughout the institution of how can we really vamp up that current student awareness and retention to SCC.
Yeah, that makes sense. And it seems like based on this form and the shift from requesting designs versus requesting marketing I've used this as consultation, marketing strategy consultation, individual departments who may be advisors, for example, if they could reach out to you to help support communication plan updates. So if there's unique individual departments who are working on retention efforts or other types of engagement with current students, it seems like that you are encouraging them to partner with your office to help promote in an effective way.
Absolutely.
Great. Those are the questions that came in now. The contact information was included, so I encourage those on the call to feel free to reach out to our friends in the marketing office. I wanted to just provide some closing remarks related to this topic, and that this is in everything that you shared, the website update, the shift to project management and communication strategy, Crystal's new role at the college being an expanded position and investment the college has made. This is all in response to feedback and data informed goal 3. So when we did the environmental scanning process, the internal forums and looking at employee survey data, and looking at community forum data, the message was loud and clear. We wanted to expand the awesome work of SCC. We needed additional support to be able to carry out the mission and vision of the college. So this is great to hear some of the transformative work that has happened in a very short amount of time, building upon some of the infrastructure that was in place. So really wonderful updates, Stu and Crystal. Thank your teams for their work and commitment to goal 3 and really promoting SCC's mission and vision loud and clear. Thank you all.
Thank you.
All right, let me share my screen here and we will pick up to the next part of our presentation here. Okay. As you know, we have been recognizing outstanding planning processes and outstanding leadership across the college. And I'm delighted to share with you today another recognition for one of our departments. If today's your first day joining into the daily celebrations, as a reminder, our strategic plan provides overarching directives in focus areas of where we want to head in the next 5 years. And the departments across the college close to 100 different divisions, departments, or programs across the college then create individual goals or group team goals that are focused on implementing the strategic plan, moving particular strategic objectives forward. It provides a lot of flexibility in how the strategic plan is implemented and is really, really a strong part of our planning processes here at SCC. We call that planning process at the department level our MAP, our mission action plan. And we used the FAST goal model to as a framework for developing and implementing those MAP goals. FAST goal stands for frequently discussed, ambitious, specific, and transparent. And I want to recognize today a key department across the college who has whose new leaders have done an outstanding job of implementing and bringing to life the principles of the FAST goal model of frequently discussed, ambitious, specific, and transparent. Gabby Johnson and Michael Mellon are two relatively new science department co-chairs at Southeast Community College. They both have taught here for a while, but they're both relatively new to their role. But in their short tenure of their role, they've made a huge impact and really have championed the MAP process and the FAST goal model here at SCC. We all know being new in a role, certainly taking on any new initiative can feel like ambitious work at times, but they have truly carried out ambitious work through their MAP process in just a matter of a few months. Some notes about Gabby and Michael from their supervisors. They have put forth a huge effort to adjust to their new roles as co-chairs of a growing science department. It can be a challenge to manage a variety of courses along with their own teaching assignments, laboratory responsibilities. In this short amount of time, they have developed some very ambitious and specific strategies. So they have created unique safety policies to manage the lab. In a short time in the role, they put systems in place to lead and transform their department. As you all know, our science courses and department is growing, and they have really addressed some key things process-wise to be able to continue to grow in both physical capacity as well as future students. In relation to frequently discussing their goals and having transparent communication about related to their goals, they have put in a number of new strategies related to communication within their department. They have initiated monthly department meetings in which they discuss their MAP goals. That's one of their key agenda items with their faculty. They also partnered with one of their peers in a different arts and sciences department, Nicole Trevina Flores. They had a service learning training to work towards their MAP goal of civic engagement. So they brought their team together. They gathered an external partner to help promote their work. During those monthly meetings, they created a collaborative space that has allowed the department to share common goals, promote discussions, and also identify opportunities for improvement. And again, partnering with those other areas. So I want to recognize and commend and celebrate Gabby Johnson, Michael Mellon, and the science department. Please join me in congratulating them and recognizing their big achievements and big support of the FAST goal model in a very short amount of time. Congratulations, Gabby and Michael. Okay. In closing today, I just wanted to remind you all that we have you have until the end of the day to complete the cybersecurity challenge. There's a emailed link this morning and with instructions. We also have a virtual celebration tomorrow at noon. You do not want to miss this presentation from the instructional division with amazing updates. Please don't miss that. I encourage you to check out your email tomorrow morning for the next Strategic Planning Week challenge, and hope to see you tomorrow at noon. Thanks for joining, everyone, and I hope you have a great rest of your afternoon. Thanks again.